I will chant one shloka. You can repeat and afterwards we'll chant together from the next class. Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Asmadacharyaparyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So this morning we saw the introduction to the text Manisha Panchakam, a group of 5 verses presenting the conviction of the Acharya. This conviction is about the Guru who has got the conviction about the self. And in this Manisha Panchakam, the vision of Vedanta is essentially presented, briefly presented, capturing the essence. And behind this composition of the text, some story is given. And the story part we saw this morning, that Lord Shiva appeared in the form of a Chandala or Chandala who was considered to be a lower community. Interesting, the derivation of Chandala is the one who is Chandati. So one who is getting angry is called Chandala. Chadi Kope. So one who is given to anger is called Chandala. So when you come under the spell of anger, by definition, by derivation, at that moment a person is Chandala. All right. Chandati kupyati iti Chandalaha. And the person who is not having necessary refinement, that person is called Chandala. So he appeared in that form. Lord Shiva appeared in the form of Chandala. Shankaracharya ji from Ganga, he was going to Kashi Vishwanatha, or from some place he was going to Ganga, whatever. And when a person is going for a sacred thing, then he generally maintains the cleanliness of the body. And therefore, for the transactional purpose, Bhashyakara Shankaracharya ji was following, and he was brought up in that particular setup. And therefore, it is there. And therefore, he asks the person to move aside. And that Chandala, who is none other than Lord Shiva, asked this question, that when you say Gacha Gacha, whom do you refer to? Do you want to drive away one body from the other? Or you want to drive away the Atma from the other Atma? Because individual has got two aspects, the self and non-self. So which aspect you are referring to when you use the sentence Gacha Gacha? When this was told and further explained also, we will see the explanation. The Chandala Rupadhari Shiva gives the explanation also, that at the level of Atma, there cannot be any distinction. And therefore, you cannot say, let one Atma go away from other Atma, because there are not many Atmas. There is only one Atma. When this was said by the Chandala, Then Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, he understood that this is none other than Lord Shiva. And in the praise of Lord Shiva, who had appeared in the form of Chandala, and glorifying the vision of non-duality, presenting the vision of non-duality, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji composes 5 verses. So mainly there are 5 verses only. They are called Mukhya Shlokaha. So 5 shlokas were composed by Shankaracharya ji. And that is known as Manisha Panchakam, where he captures the essence of Vedantic teaching. And in Vedanta, 3 things are talked about. One is sadhana chatushtayam, the necessary qualification; tattva nirupanam, the revelation of the truth of Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara; and third is the phalam, the result. All 3 main topics of Vedanta are covered briefly in this Manisha Panchakam. All these verses are very profound verses, very potent, very profound. And these verses capture even this Mahavakya. There are commentators on this Manisha Panchakam. There are 2 commentaries. One is Bala Gopalendra, other is Sadashivendra. So they have written the commentaries. And they are connecting first 4 verses with the first Mahavakya. What is this Mahavakya? Mahavakya is the great sentence revealing the oneness between Jiva and Ishvara, which is the essential teaching of Vedanta. So the essential teaching of Vedanta is represented by a particular type of sentence, and that sentence is called Mahavakya. And there are so many Mahavakyas in Vedanta, but 4 sentences are popular, and we will talk about each one of them. And the commentators say that first 4 shlokas are connected to, are revealing or capturing this essence of 4 Mahavakyas. And the 5th one is the Phalashruti, glorification of wisdom. So this is going to be the content of the stotra which we are going to learn. And as I said, even though main shlokas are 5 only, that is why it's Manisha Panchakam, but there are some additional shlokas which are not written by Shankaracharya, written by some other commentators, which are giving the background behind the composition of Manisha Panchakam. And those shlokas can be called Ksepak Shloka. Ksepaka means additional. So additional shlokas which are presenting the background of Manisha Panchakam teaching, they are Ksepak Shloka. Like in Bhagavad Gita, the main teaching starts from the 11th shloka of the 2nd chapter. But the first chapter is there, first chapter and the 10th shloka of the 2nd chapter, they are presenting the background for the teaching to take place, so that we understand the context. Because any teaching will be understood well when context is clear. Otherwise, people will say this about Bhagavad Gita. What? Swamiji, in Bhagavad Gita, Yudhyasva, fight. So, Swamiji, had decided not to fight with my brother, but after reading Bhagavad Gita, I decided to fight. That is the message. So to fight is not the message of Bhagavad Gita. People wrongly understand. In fact, in Russia, this Bhagavad Gita was banned, thinking that this Bhagavad Gita is promoting war. It is not true. Wherever yudhyasva, may you fight, that wording comes, it should be understood as do your duty. In case of Arjuna, contextually, fighting the war was the duty. Therefore, yudhyasva. If cooking was duty, then we say pachasva, we will say. You cook. Yeah. So that will say. Pacha. Yeah. So that we will say. Somebody, no, I will not cook, I will not do. Or not going for the job. So we will tell them, go for the job. It's a contextual. So context is made clear by that first chapter and first chapter entire and the 10th shloka of second chapter. Similarly here, background is given by some Ksepak Shlokas we will read. Satyacharyasya gamane kadachin muktidayakam kashi kshetram pratisaha gaurya marge tu shankaram antyaveshadharam drishtva gaccha gaccheti chabravit shankarasopi chandalah tam punah praha shankaram. Sati acharyasya gamane kadachit muktidayakam. Mukti and dayakam in our book it is separate, but it should be one word. Muktidayakam, one. Kasi kshetram pratisaha gaurya margetu shankaram antyaveshadharam drishtva gaccha gaccha iti cha abravit. Shankaraha saha api chandalaha tam punaha praha shankaram. So here, as I said, the background story is given based on Shankara Digvijaya and other text. What is said? Acharyasya gamane sati. When Shankaracharya ji was going, kadachit, sometime, once upon a time. Where was he going? Kashi kshetram prati. Towards Kashi. Towards the kshetra means the place, the region called Kashi. Kashi has got different names. This Kashi is also called Banaras. The word Kashi has got the meaning Kashyate Prakashyate iti Kashi. It is said that Lord Shiva appeared in the form of a fire column in Kashi. Therefore, Kashi was illumined and therefore it got the name Kashi. That place was, region was illumined, therefore it is called Kashi. And it is a city of knowledge, really. Now Bangalore is called IT and all, but really the city of knowledge, Vidya Nagari, was Kashi. Means if anybody has got any question in any field, they can go to Kashi and they will get the answer. Even now also there are great scholars in Kashi. So therefore the Kashi has got this meaning, the place where knowledge is attained. That meaning also is there. So Kashi is a well-known place. And towards that Kashi, prati means towards Kashi, when there was the travel of the Acharya, Shankaracharya, what type of Kashi Kshetra? Muktidayakam, the giver of moksha, freedom. It is said that Kashi, if one stays in Kashi and dies in Kashi, then one will get moksha. Even now that belief is so prevalent, there are places where person just goes to die. And one place is that Kashi Mukti Bhavan or something. There a person is allowed to be there, but 15 days he has to die. If he doesn't die, then he is out. He cannot remain there. So when a person is very sure, then only he has to go there. Because they cannot afford. No, many people want to use. So they are in queue. Queue nelli teri, daivitu nirikshasi. So they have to wait. And therefore, there are many people who stay in Kashi. Because that's a belief that Lord Shiva, at the end of the life of a person, gives Taraka mantra. Hare Ram, Shri Rama mantra, he gives, and that lifts up the person. Means he will have further better gati, so he will get moksha. So, popular belief is there. It is based on Shastra. It is not that only conventional hearsay. No, it is there in Shastra, and we have Shraddha in that. So, therefore, it is called Mukti Dayakam Kashi Kshetram. So, when there was a travel of Acharya to the region of Kashi, which is popularly known as the giver of moksha, that time Gaurya Saha Margetu Shankaram Antyaveshadharam Drishtva. These two shlokas are to be seen together. That time, Drishtva, seeing, Shiva, Bhagavan Bhashyakara, seeing. Whom? Shankaram. So here Shankara means Lord Shiva. Where? Marge, on the way. To indeed. Gaurya Saha, along with Gauri. But Gauri was not, Gauri means Parvati. So, is not visible. So, because she did not have any role to play. So, she was there traveling, but not coming into the scene. So, when Lord Shiva was going on the way, where Acharya also was traveling, and Lord Shiva was in which form? Antyavesha dharam. Assuming, dharam means assuming, Antyavesha, the disguise, Vesha means disguise, form of Antya, a person of low caste. So, Shankaracharya ji seeing Lord Shiva, but not in the Shiva's form. Karpura Gauram Karunavataram, not that form. Antyavesha dharam. Seeing Lord Shiva in this Antyavesha, in the disguise of a Chandala, Abravit. Kaha Abravit? Acharyaha. Shankaracharyaha Abravit. Shankaracharya ji told. What did he say? Gaccha gaccha iti. Please move. Go away. Please move aside. Gaccha gaccha iti. So he said like this, please move aside. So they were going, and perhaps he must be very close to the path. So to avoid the possibility of touch, he said this. Because of his samskara, because of whatever background, he said, gaccha gaccha iti. And Shankaraha saha api chandalaha. Saha api Shankara. That Lord Shiva, who is not appearing as Lord Shiva in his original form, Chandalaha san Shankaraha. In the form of Chandala, Lord Shiva, Praha, told, Punaha, in turn, Lord Shiva, who is in the form of Chandala, told. To whom? Shankaram. So we have to be careful. This Shankaram is what? Shankaracharya. I told you that Shankara both are there. So one is Chandala Rupa Shankara, other is this Acharya Shankara. So Chandala Rupa Shankara, Shankara in the form, Lord Shiva in the form of Chandala, told Shankaram. Shankaram is or Shankaracharya. He responded when Acharya Shankara told Gacha Gacha, that time Chandala Shankara, Chandala Rupadhari Shankara told Acharya the following thing. So this story I have already told. This is just to give you the meaning of the words of this shloka. Okay. So Tam Shankaram, that Shankaram. That Shankaram is what? The Shankaracharya who had told Gacha Gacha, to that Shankara he told. See, some people are very particular about the words, therefore I am telling this. Otherwise, story already we know. Okay. Now, Chandala Rupa Shankara is telling to Acharya Shankara the following thing. Annamayadannamayamathava Chaitanyameva Chaitanyat Yativaraduri Kartum Vanchasi Kim Bruhi Gacha Gacheti. Now, Chandala Rupa Shankara is telling, Gacha Gacha iti, when you are saying, go away, go away. When you are saying, iti bruvan, Gacha Gacha iti bruvan, when you are saying in this manner, what do you refer to? What do you want to remove? What do you want to drive away? Duri kartum vanchasi. You want to, vanchasi means you want to, you desire. Duri kartum means drive away. Kim duri kartum vanchasi. What do you want to drive away? Gacha gacha iti bruvan. Kim duri kartum vanchasi. When you are saying, go away, what do you want to drive away? Please tell me. And he addresses Lord Shiva as Shankaracharya ji as Yativara. In fact, there is other reading, Dvijavara. So we'll take both the readings. Yati means sannyasi. Yativara means the best among sannyasi. So he is telling, that you are not ordinary sannyasi, simply like wearing the dress, Udara nimittam bahukruta vesham. In Bhajagovindam it comes. It is not that. You are Yativara. You are a learned sannyasi. And when you are saying Gacha Gacha, you must be very clear. Learned people are clear about whatever they are doing, whatever they are saying. So, you must be clear because you are Yativara. Therefore, he does Sambodhana. In Shastra, whenever, this is called Sambodhana. Sambodhana means addressing word. This is a style in Sanskrit literature. And that addressing word will have some message to convey. It is not simply, it is put there. So, this Chandala Rupa Shankara, what to say? You are a learned sannyasi, so you must be having the clarity whom you want to drive away and why you want to drive away. What is the basis for driving away one from the other? And he gives two options. What? Acha, before that, Yativara, other reading is Dvijavara. Dvija means twice born. A person, when he is born, he is unrefined. Janmana jayate Shudraha. Everybody is born Shudraha. Shudra means unrefined. Shudra should be taken. The literal meaning of Shudra is Shochati iti Shudraha. One who is given to grieving and grief based anger, etc., that is Shudraha. Unrefined. Unrefined means what? One whose life is governed by likes and dislikes, instinctual desires. That person is called Asamskrita Shudraha. In Shastra, they use three expressions: Kamachara, Kamabhakshanam, Kamavadaha. When a child is born, he has got all three of them. Child doesn't have restriction. Whatever he feels like doing, he does. In whatever mind it comes. No, this is a time for sleeping. He feels like shouting, shouts. No, my mom is sleeping whole night. I kept her awake and all. No. Kamachara. And Kama Bhakshanam. Whatever comes, it put in his mouth only. He wants to know everything. So Kama Bhakshanam. Kama Bhakshanam is instinctual eating, licentious eating. Kamachara means licentious action, instinctual action. Kamachara. Kama Bhakshanam, instinctual eating. Kama Vadaha means what? Talking whatever it wants. Whatever it learns, sometimes some abusing words also child learns and tells to Appa, he will say, you are this, because he learned that word. He doesn't know that it is a bad word or something. That's Kama Vadaha. And many people remain children for a very long time. Up to 50, 60, 70 also same thing. So still Kamachara, Kama Bhakshanam, Kama Vadaha. Hum jo karenge, dil jo kahe. So whatever I like, I will do. They think they are great. In Shastra, they are looked upon as Shudraha. When your life is purely governed by your instincts only, not dharma, adharma, right and wrong, then that person is Shudraha. And when a person is ready to receive the guidance of Vedas, to refine one's life, he expresses his desire, wish to be guided by Vedas, and that is marked by an initiation into Gayatri Mantra. And that when a person receives the Gayatri Mantra, then the person is called Dvijaha, twice born. Why twice born? Already once he was born from the parents, mother. But now he is born as a refined person. From animal man, he is now being born as a man. And therefore it is his second birth. And therefore that person is called Dvijaha. Janmana jayate Shudraha, karmana jayate Dvijaha. And it is not that everybody has to wear this sacred thread and then Gayatri Mantra has to be received. Not necessary. If you decide that I am ready to receive the direction, guidance of the Shastra to lead my life, you are Dvijaha. Maybe you are 50, 40, 60, whatever be you are. The day you decide, you are born again. Born again, Man or woman, anybody, when you decide, I want to lead life guided by Shastra, you are Dvijaha. So Dvija Vara. Among all the Dvijas, you are the best, means you are the most refined person. Dvija can be called as refined person. Dvija Vara means the most refined person. So, Chandala Rupa Shiva is telling you are the most refined Brahmana. So, you have to tell me what do you refer to when you say Gacha Gacha? And he gives two options. What are they? Annamayad Annamayam Durikartum Vanchasi. Kim? Kim means whether you want to, Vanchasi, you want to Durikartum, drive away Annamayam, the body, born of food. Annamayat, from another body. Do you want to drive away this body from your body? So, do you want to drive away one body from the other body? One option. Or Chaitanyameva Chaitanyat. Chaitanya means the essence of a person. What really person is called Atma is otherwise called Chaitanyam. So, I will talk about Chaitanya more, but here it is enough to note that Chaitanya means what really person is. What makes the person Chaitana, sentient, is called Chaitanyam. The truth of the person, the reality of the person, what really the person is, that is Chaitanyam. More about this we will see later. Because in introduction itself I tell you what will I say in the main shloka. So, main shloka also Chaitanyam will come. So, that time I will explain. Or even next shloka also I will explain a little bit. Alright. So, Chaitanyameva Chaitanyat. Do you want to drive away one consciousness from the other consciousness? Chaitanyam is translated as consciousness, awareness. Two options are given. And here the word Annamaya has got the significance of body is called Annamaya because it is born of food. Not directly. It is not that you put some roti, sabji, dal, chawal in one dabba and one body comes out. It doesn't come out. It's not like that. But Anna will be converted into nutrients. Rasa is called Anna Rasa. And from the Rasa, the essence, this body is formed. Body is nourished. So, Annam eaten by the mother and father, that becomes the seed in the male body, seed in the female body, and combine and give rise to a body. Therefore, the body is called Annamaya. It is sustained by Annam. The body is sustained by food. Therefore, we have got these 3 times meals, this breakfast, lunch, dinner. In between people, I am sure some people must have brought some snacks also. So, 4 o'clock snacks. So, especially Gujarati, they bring more. They are very fond of. So, they will bring. I don't know any Gujarati there. So, they are very fond of. So, they have to have. Otherwise, they feel incomplete. The luggage is not complete. Anyway, so Annam sustains the body. And a person, when the body dies, it goes back to Annam. That's a very interesting thing, When body dies, what happens? It goes back to earth, the earth. And earth again gives rise to Annam. So, we as a body, we are born of food, sustained by food, and merge back into food. So, if we think too much, we are eating our great grandfather. And we will be eaten by our great grandchildren. In a way, if you think over it, you will see that it happens like this. Anyway, don't worry about it. So, Annamaya means the body. Annamayat Annamayam Duri Kartu Vanchasya. Or Chaitanyam eva Chaitanyat. And he is Kim. whether this first option is there, one body from the other body, or the one Chaitanya from other Chaitanya. And what he wants to say is that both are unjustifiable options. Because what is the difference between your body and this body, which is called my body? Your body is made up of annam. This body also annam, maybe different annam, The Chandala, generally they eat some non-veg things, and Brahmana, Modern Brahmana eats everything, but generally, so generally they eat this vegetarian. There also so many there things are there. Don't worry about it. So food may be different. South Indian food and North Indian food. But food alone. So how can you ask one body to go away from the other body? Because both of them are made up of annam. All right. Then Chaitanyam Chaitanyat, that also is not possible, because consciousness is one. That idea he himself will explain. So I don't have to explain, because he will explain. All right. Bruhi means tell me. So here the connection is Yativara Gacha Gacha iti Bruvan Kim Annamayat Annamayam Athava Chaitanyat Chaitanyam Eva Durikartum Vanchasi Bruhi. Please tell me. Those who are Sanskrit, like want connection, for them I am telling. Others can happily ignore it. Yeah. Acha. So out of these two options, the first option is not explained by this Chandala Rupa Dhari Shivaha. Why? It is very obvious, This also same thing. They say both are same, Annamaya, Annamaya. But about Chaitanyam, he is Chandala Rupa Dhari Shiva is explaining. All right. So we'll read that shloka where this Chandala Rupa Shiva is explaining the second options. King Gangambuni Bimbitembaramanau Chandala Vithi Payaha Purevantaramasti Kanchana Ghati Vrutkumbhayorvambare Pratyagvastuni nistaranga sahajanandavabodhambudhau Pratyagvastuni nistaranga sahajanandavabodhambudhau Viproyam Shvapachoyamithyapi Mahan Koyam Bibheda Brahmaha. So would you like to try? Please try reading this. Kim This third line we had to chant together because of the grammar requirements. Yeah. So to explain why I had to do that, I have to explain so many things. So let us not. We have to do this. Yeah. Kim Gangambuni Bimbite Ambaramanau Chandala Vithi Payaha Pure Va Antaram Asti कांचन घटी मृत्कुंभयोः वा अंबरे प्रत्यग वस्तुनि निस्तरंग सहजानंदावबोधांबुधौ विप्रः अयं श्वपचः अयं इति अपि महान कः अयं विभेद भ्रमः. You may wonder what Swamiji is doing. I am just breaking the words. So you may think that why Swamiji is reading again. It is just to break the sandhi. I am breaking sandhis. What is sandhi? Don't bother about it. So for for that you have to attend Sanskrit grammar class. Yeah. Okay. So here the second option, Chaitanyameva Chaitanyat. Do you want to drive away the consciousness from consciousness? That is unjustifiable. That idea is elaborated with the two examples. Before going to the content of the shlokas word by word, let me explain what do we mean by Chaitanyam and how it is one, etc. Most of you, I think, you are familiar with Vedanta, but my habit is not to take anything for granted. That is my habit, So whether you have understood it or not, you understand again. Vedanta teaching starts with, the essential teaching starts with Atma Anatma Viveka. What is the meaning of Atma Anatma Viveka? Viveka means discrimination, cognitive separation. Cognitive separation between the self and non-self. Self means what really you are, called Atma, self. Anatma means not self, non-self, what you are not. So, cognitive separation of what you are and what you are not. That is called Atma Anatma Viveka. Now, question would be, Swamiji, why should we separate this? So many things are mixed up, we don't separate, let them be there together, So some asanas are mixed up, some chairs are mixed up, so many things are mixed up, doesn't matter, In our, sometimes our bookshelf, many books are mixed up, So these Sanskrit books, English books are mixed up, It's okay, Swamiji, I know where my book is. So why should I separate? So why Atma Anatma Viveka is required? Vedanta says, Atma Anatma Viveka is required because Atma Anatma are confused with each other. And this confusion is causing samsara for you. Since the cognitive confusion is creating bondage for you, therefore, separation, cognitive separation, not physical separation, cognitive separation is required to remove your bondage. So it is not meaningless exercise. Not that Vedanta wants to start something very brilliant way and therefore it starts like this. Nothing that. In Vedanta, nothing is done without purpose. Vedanta is always having this purpose, sense of purpose is always maintained. So, self, non-self confusion is creating samsara, therefore to be separated. All right. And this separation is done based on the principle, what I am aware of, I am different from that. I am the subject, drashta, seer or knower, and what is experienced is known, drishyam. I am drashta, seer, knower. Whatever I am aware of, whatever I experience, perceive, is drishyam. And I, drashta, am different from drishyam. This is the basic principle of Atmanatma Viveka. Let us start with simple thing. We used to have pots, but now we have clip. So this clip. Clip is something I am aware of. So what I am aware of, what is experienced, is called drishyam. Who am I? I am the drashta of this clip. The clip is drishyam, I am drashta. And I, drashta, am different from this drishyam clip. Any doubt? Nobody has doubt about this, that you are different from the clip, you don't have doubt. Anything you objectify, even your dress very close to you, it is still something I am experiencing, therefore it is drishyam. I am drashta. I, drashta, am different from drishyam, the dress. However dear a person is, your spouse, your children, your parents, your friend, you are aware of that person, and therefore you are different from that person. You are very clear about it. Even though in the dialogue you may say you and me are one, etc., you may say all this, but you are very sure when you go to movie, you don't buy one ticket. No, you and me are one. You buy two tickets, isn't it? You cannot say that fellow comes and says, no, we are one, so one ticket. Train also, one ticket. Aeroplane, one ticket, we are one. No, it is just for dialogue, So nice to hear. But we know for sure, I am different, that person is different. Whatever I experience, however close it is, I am different from that. My glasses, however close it is, I am different from that. So far, so good. No problem. Boundary issue is not there. But now boundary issue comes, When it comes to the body, so body is considered to be myself, because I am fat, I am lean, I am dark, I am tall, even I am Brahmana, I am Kshatriya, I am Vaishya, I am Shudra, I am young, I am old, I am male, I am female. All these are the properties of the body, but I consider it very seriously. That is why if a lady is told that all women are like this, suppose, she feels very bad. All women, so what do you think, women? Without women, what will you do? So they will be very angry. Man generally doesn't feel so angry about this. They may feel angry. But we are like this only. Anyway, so serious about gender, Gender issue is a big thing, Now, we have to be very careful. Every now and then we have to use the word he or she. And in fact, in the book, they write only she. They have to write she. And that S, they can, I think they do something, H, bracket they do. All this, this is showing our complex, It is good. It has a purpose. I don't say it should not be done. The female gender has been ignored in some area, so they should be recognized. But when we come to Vedanta, I am a female member, that concept is not living. Why? Because I consider myself to be as good as this body. And that's why somebody tells you, nowadays, you look dark, What happened to you? I become very conscious. Oh, I look dark. Then immediately Fair and Lovely comes. So, so much complex. Puja Swamiji used to say very nicely. He says, every complex is very costly. So how much you have to pay for that? You have got complex about your body. And nowadays people have got unnecessary pressure to look young. Why? Age graciously. People used to say in olden days, nowadays they don't say this. He said, gray hair, is not come just like this. Is proud of gray hair. Nowadays people want to dye it, hide it. I am proud of having this white beard, white hair. I have earned it. Sunlight has made it grey. So many 60 years, 50 years they have done it. But people have so much complex about this body. So when it comes to the body, I have this aviveka, non-discrimination. Why? Because if we apply that same principle, whatever I am aware of, I am different from that, then body is something I am aware of. Are you aware of your body or not? Very much aware of this. So, if we follow the principle of whatever I am aware of, I am different from that. So, body is also something you are aware of. So, you are different from the body. So, Shastra says, you appreciate this fact, I am drashta of this shariram which is drishyam. I am different from the body. Body is black. I am not black. I am someone who is aware of this dark body. I am someone who is aware of this body which is getting old. So this is the first viveka. In fact, the viveka, Atmanatma viveka, starts with the body. Therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, idam shariram kaunteya kshetramityavidhiyate. When you have got this viveka with reference to the body, you will have objectivity with reference to the body. You are objective about it. Like you have got a car, you have got a scooter, etc. It is old. Like scooter is old. So you don't feel that I am old. Scooter is old. I am not old. I am the owner of the old scooter, vintage item. So, similarly, body also can be called vintage. Why not? Anyway, so when you do viveka, and it is a cognitive viveka, you are not physically separating yourself. We are not talking about the out of the body, travel experience. We are not talking about that. To understand that I am different from the body, I have to travel out of the body. Not required. You don't have to travel. You can appreciate. I am aware of this body, different from this body. I am drashta of this body. This particular appreciation meditation is very useful. It will take care of many of your worries. Many people have one worry, what will happen in my old age? Now I am okay. What will happen when I grow further old? Now also old, Swamiji, but little more. What will happen? They are worried and they try to make Swami also worried. They will tell me also, Swamiji, now you are talking, teaching, and therefore people are serving you. When you grow old, you will not be able to teach. Then what will happen to you? So I may get a doubt whether it's a life insurance or personal or what. Anyway, so once you develop this objectivity about the body, your so many concerns are reduced. It is not that you don't do what is to be done. You can have this pension scheme or whatever investment and all, you do it. But like you take care of your vehicle, You take care of your house, Similarly, you take care of this body. That is called objectivity. Objectivity means what? Seeing things as they are. You see the body as an instrument for doing things. It is subject to aging. It is subject to have some disease and some weakness in course of time. This is how the body is. Thus, this Viveka at the first stage gives you objectivity and relief from so many concerns. Then you come to further sense organs, eyes, ears, tongue, skin, the olfactory organ, nose. All of them also I am aware of. My eyes, whether they are seeing or not, I am aware of. Therefore, doctor has to ask you only, this is better or this is better. We get confused many times. That also is kind of, previous one is better or this is better. Said which previous one he is referring to. Really, sometimes we get confused. That's something we say yes and we bring. So finally he has to depend upon me. So I am aware of my eyes, ears, tongue. Thus I am drashta, all the organs are drishyam. Not only gnanendriyani, karmendriyani, my speech I am aware of, my hands I am aware of, my legs, other organs I am aware of. Therefore, I am different from them. I do not judge myself based on the conditions of the organs. Objectivity means that you see it as an object. You don't judge yourself based on the condition, complexion, status of the body. That gives such a big relief, Otherwise, my God, how much we are worried, In fact, nowadays it is out of etiquette to ask age, I cannot ask, what is your age, People don't like, In fact, I was telling in the last course also, I was telling that everybody at the end of the course should come and tell, this is my age. This is like a pass. We did not do it, but I think people were ready for that. Am I objective about the age? This is the age, People don't want to reveal their age, why? Because they think, one lady told me about this. He said, Swamiji, if we tell our age, that some people would not like to mingle with us. Young group always wants to mingle with young ones. And when they come to know I am of this age, so they don't want to mingle. And the older people like to mingle with the younger ones. Many people. And therefore, they said, I don't reveal my age. All funny ideas. So, in fact, if you are enjoying yourself, any group would love to mingle with you. Pujya Swamiji had so many devotees who were youngsters, they love him. They love to spend time with him. He was 75, 80 and all. Still, at that age also, people love. So, there is no such thing. Only thing why, youngsters avoid this senior citizen, I don't like to say old people, senior citizen. Because this senior citizen has got one weakness, generally, not everybody, but generally, they like to give advice, unsolicited advice. I always tell them, see, follow the rule of economics. If supply is more, price comes down. So if you are giving so much advice, your advice will have no value. Reduce the quantity of advice. Value will go up, That is the economics principle. So that's why people avoid. Not that they don't like to be with old people or anything. So, based on the body, I do not judge myself. Based on the conditions of the body, I don't judge. I am this, I am that. Based on the condition of the organs, I don't judge myself. Next comes the mind. I say, I am very, Swamiji, short tempered. I am angry. I am loving. I am compassionate. I am very understanding, Swamiji. Most of the people have this feeling, you know what? Swamiji, I am very understanding to others, but people don't understand me. That is the feeling. Swamiji, I really try to understand people, but nobody tries to understand me. So, I am this angry, loving, compassionate. But Shastra draws our attention. Are you aware of the mind which is loving? Yes, I know I am loving. Means you are aware of the conditions of the mind. And therefore what? Same principle. You are aware of your mind, therefore you are different from the mind. The mind is drishyam. I am drashta of the mind. And this is the highest objectivity one can have. When I am objective about even the mental conditions, based on mental conditions, the feelings, I do not judge myself, my objectivity at the highest level. I don't say I am depressed. Mind has got some issues, so feeling a little dull. It's okay. Sometimes our cell phone also become dull, no? So we discharge and all this happens. So mind requires some recharge. So it is not having charge. So I am aware of the mind. They are different from the mind. Who am I? I am aware of the body, aware of the sense organs, aware of the mind. With reference to the body, senses and the mind, I am aware or awarer, conscious. With reference to myself, who am I? I am the content of the awarer, content of this conscious being, the being which is conscious of all, and that is called consciousness. So, who am I? I am consciousness who is conscious with reference to the body, senses and the mind. I am consciousness who am available as conscious, awareful, awarer with reference to the body, senses and the mind. So, with reference to the body, mind, sense complex, I am a conscious being. With reference to myself, I am the content of conscious being called consciousness. And another way of looking at this word consciousness is, I am that consciousness because of which the body, the mind become conscious, sentient. I am that consciousness because of whom the body, senses and the mind become conscious, sentient. So, that which makes the body, mind, sense complex conscious, sentient is called consciousness. More we will see in the next class. Sorry I took more time. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.